I almost wasn't going to talk about this, but Tucker Carlson's new Twitter show is really, really, really bad. And it is an interesting media story to follow. So we're going to look at a couple minutes of this. Tucker released episode one of Tucker on Twitter. It is 10.5 minutes long. It has been viewed over 70 million times since posted yesterday at 6 p.m. What I came away with is that when you strip away the multi-million-dollar production of Fox News, the expensive set, someone controlling the teleprompter for Tucker. Now he controls it himself with a sort of a mouse wheel of sorts. A team of producers and the graphics. When you strip it all away to its bare core, for lack of a better term, it turns out that Tucker is actually pretty lame, like lamer than the average YouTuber, I have to say. Let's take a look at episode 1. Tell me if you find this compelling.
Hey, it's Tucker Carlson. This morning it looks like somebody blew up the Kakhovka Dam in southern Ukraine. The rushing wall of water wiped out entire villages, destroyed a critical hydropower plant, and as of tonight puts the largest nuclear reactor in Europe in danger of melting down. So if this was intentional, it was not a military tactic, it was an act of terrorism. The question is, who did it? Well, let's see. The Kakhovka Dam was effectively Russian. It was built by the Russian government. It currently sits in Russian-controlled territory. The dam's reservoir supplies...
It's sort of like at this point, we're 37 seconds in. It's already obvious, like, okay, if I watch another couple minutes, he'll probably just blame Ukraine. You know, it's like, do we even really need to watch this? Then we'll skip ahead. This is sort of like closer to the middle, just to give you a little more of a sense of this.
Russians are dying. It's the best money we've ever spent, Graham says. A smile spreads across his thin, quivering lips as he forms the words. He looks like a starving man contemplating a
Sounds like he's reading fan fiction now.
breakfast buffet. The aroma of death has aroused Lindsey Graham. Thanks so much, replies Zelensky. He feels the same way.
Right.
See, there's nothing dark here. Just two middle-aged guys celebrating the killing of a population. They don't seem like the kind of people who'd enjoy flooding villages or starting a famine. And in any case, who cares if they are? It's really not your business. Your job is to support Ukraine. Watch Nikki Haley, a Republican candidate for president, explain this principle on CNN.
A win for Ukraine.
All right, so then he plays a clip of Nikki Haley, and then we'll look at sort of the end and how he wraps this whole thing. Or will we? Now it's glitching badly. Let me see if we can get back to the wrap up here. Here we go.
The U.S. government has managed to classify more than 1 billion so-called public documents. So at this point, we can't possibly know what our leaders are doing. We're not allowed to know. By definition, that is not a democracy. Yet it's fine with the media. Secrecy is a powerful tool of control. Stop asking how we got so rich. Here's another story about racism. Go eat each other. That's the program. That's how most of us now live here in the United States. Manipulated by lies, silenced by taboos. It is unhealthy and it's dehumanizing, and we're tired of it. As of today, we've come to Twitter, which we hope will be the shortwave radio under the blankets.
Right.
We're told there are no gatekeepers here. If that turns out to be false, we'll leave. But in the meantime, we are grateful to be here. We'll be back with much more very soon.
There you go, folks. And there is a little outro with Tucker, I guess, fishing or something like that. Yeah, you know, it is very interesting. When you see him stripped of the accoutrements of corporate media, it's extraordinarily mediocre. The pace, if you want to watch the full 11 minutes, I encourage you to do it. The pacing is very so-so. There's too much time spent belaboring certain points. It just isn't very good. And that's what's really interesting when we look, you know, the real media, there's a couple media stories here. What happens to Tucker's platform once he's just posting videos to Twitter? One of the things, you know, I am not saying this to pat myself on the back, but one of the things that is notable about people who slowly build online platforms like we've done on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, podcast, etc., is you don't get a big audience you can bring with you. Like Tucker got 70 million views on this video because of things he has done previously with multi-million-dollar production. And that's great. That's a fantastic thing. And who would turn that down, right? That's a beautiful thing. But one of the things that's unclear is, would he be able to build it in the same way if he hadn't been handed those things from these major corporate media outlets? And we don't know the answer. We'll never know, because he was able to bring this large audience with him. But to all the small YouTubers and podcasters where we go, I think back to the start of the show, we got 100 downloads on a podcast. And then now we're approaching 1 million downloads a month and 75 million views a month on video across all of our different platforms. Those numbers were built slowly over time. And there's a real question as to what is this stripped down Tucker going to be able to retain from that original audience. I'm as curious as anybody else. I'm also curious as far as a media story. Is this a viable business of some kind? And if so, how is it going to be monetized? We will see. We will see. When there's a nonfiction book I just don't have the time to read, having a summary of the book is really valuable. Several different platforms out there will summarize books. I've tried them all. Short form is by far the most impressive one, and it goes way beyond what other platforms do. Our sponsor, Short Form, not only will summarize the book, covering all of the key ideas, Short Form also provides analysis and commentary that contextualizes the book, comparing it to what other books say about the same topic, and you can read or listen to the entire thing in one sitting. For instance, the book Dark Money by Jane Mayer, about how wealthy Republicans are covertly influencing American politics. Short form clearly and concisely sums up the book's most important takeaways, but it also gives you a ton of other crucial background about lobbying, libertarianism, and that helps you really understand, how does the book fit into the broader topic of conservative money in politics. That's why I love short form. Short form has every genre: politics, business, tech, biographies, and my audience can try short form totally free and get 25% off a subscription at shortform.com/Pacman. The link is down below.